Welcome back everyone to JF Coin, the channel where rare coins tell their amazing hidden stories and where even a simple 1-cent penny can turn into a treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today's video is going to take you deep into the fascinating history, value, and current market worth of the Lincoln penny 1 cent from the year 1981. Many collectors overlook this little coin because they believe it is too modern or too common, but you are going to be surprised at how much money certain 1981 pennies can bring in the coin market today. Before we dive into the actual values, let us first travel back in time to understand the history of this iconic American coin. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. This was a historic moment because it was the very first time in United States coinage history that a real person was placed on a circulating coin. From that year onward, the Lincoln cent became one of the longest-running and most collected coin series in the entire world. Now let us focus on the year 1981. This year is incredibly important because it was the final full year when the United States Mint struck Lincoln cents in the traditional copper composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. From 1982 onward, the Mint transitioned to copper-plated zinc coins, which completely changed the weight, feel, and even the sound of the pennies. This makes 1981 the last great year of the classic heavy copper penny, and that is one reason collectors love to search for these coins today. The 1981 Lincoln penny was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark, the Denver coins have a small D mint mark under the date, and the San Francisco coins were mostly produced as proofs with the letter S mint mark. Each one of these variations can carry a different value depending on its condition, rarity, and whether it has any special variety or error. Now let us talk about the value, because I know this is what excites collectors and viewers the most. A typical worn 1981 penny that you find in circulation might only be worth its copper melt value, which is a little over 2 cents since copper is a valuable metal. But here is where it gets really interesting. Uncirculated examples, especially those graded in high mint state condition, can be worth far more. For instance, a bright red 1981 penny graded MS-67 by a top grading company can easily bring hundreds of dollars at auction. Even higher graded coins can push the value into the thousands. Proof coins from San Francisco with a deep cameo finish are highly sought after by collectors and can reach impressive prices if perfectly preserved, but the real treasures are the rare error coins. In 1981, the Mint was still using two different styles of lettering known as Type 1 and Type 2 proof varieties. Collectors pay serious money for these variations. On top of that, if you happen to come across an off-center strike, a double die error, or a coin with a wrong planchet mistake, you could be holding something that is worth a fortune. Some of these error pennies have been known to sell for thousands of dollars in the open market. Now let us bring in some real market data. The coin market is constantly changing, and collectors are willing to pay record prices for the right coin at the right time. According to recent reports, the highest auction record for a 1981 Lincoln cent has gone well beyond $700,000 for an ultra-rare example in superb condition. Yes, you heard that right, over $779,000 for a penny that most people would have ignored in their change jar. That is the true magic of coin collecting. Something so small, something so ordinary, can actually be a hidden fortune if you know what to look for. So the big question is, how do you know if your 1981 penny is worth money? The first step is always to check the mint mark. Then, carefully study the condition of the coin. If the coin is bright red, sharp, and free from major scratches or spots, you may have a valuable piece. It is always worth comparing your coin under magnification to see if you spot doubling in the letters or numbers. And of course, if you suspect you have a rare variety, error, or high-grade coin, sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm its value and make it easier to sell at auction. Collectors across the world are always hungry for high-grade examples of the last full copper pennies. Since 1981 marked the end of an era, demand continues to rise, and as copper prices go up, so does the base value of these coins. It is no wonder that the coin market has exploded with interest in Lincoln cents, and the 1981 penny sits right in the heart of that excitement. So the next time you come across a 1981 penny, do not dismiss it as just another coin. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a piece of history and maybe even a small fortune. Whether it is worth a few cents for its copper, a few hundred for its condition, or hundreds of thousands for its rarity, the 1981 Lincoln penny proves that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. That is the beauty of coin collecting. It teaches us patience, curiosity, and appreciation for history. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth more than gold. So keep hunting, keep searching, and never give up. You never know, your next pocket change discovery could change your life. This has been another exciting episode from JF Coin. If you enjoyed this journey into the history and value of the 1981 Lincoln penny, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends. Your support helps us continue bringing you amazing stories from the world of coins. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy collecting. Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where every coin tells a hidden story and every collector finds a new treasure. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in modern American numismatic history, the Lincoln penny 1 cent from the year 1986. At first glance, this little copper-colored coin may look ordinary, something you could find in pocket change or at the bottom of an old jar. But in reality, the 1986 Lincoln cent hides a rich history, carries unique features, and in certain conditions can be worth far more than its face value. Some examples have shocked collectors with their surprising prices in auctions, and the market value continues to rise depending on grade, rarity, and demand. So let us begin our journey into the story of the 1986 Lincoln penny and why it might be worth much more than just 1 cent. First, let us talk about the history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first United States coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. Over the decades, this coin became a cornerstone of American pocket change. By the time 1986 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already gone through major changes. From 1909 to 1982, the coin was made mostly of copper, but due to rising copper prices, the United States Mint changed the composition. From 1982 onwards, the Lincoln cent was struck on planchets made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating of only 2.5%. This change makes the 1986 penny part of the modern zinc era. Now let us examine the design. On the obverse side of the 1986 penny, you will see the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, the initials VDB placed subtly below the shoulder. The words "In God We Trust" are boldly inscribed above, Liberty is placed on the left side, and the date 1986 with a mint mark if present is located to the right. On the reverse side we still find the image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design created by Frank Gasparo that had been in use since 1959. If you look carefully with magnification, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making this one of the smallest details ever included on an American coin. But now comes the question that excites every collector. What is the value of the 1986 Lincoln penny today? Most circulated examples are still worth only 1 cent in everyday transactions, but collectors and dealers are not interested in the ordinary worn-out pieces. The true value lies in uncirculated mint state examples, proof versions, and especially error coins. A 1986 penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark in high mint state condition can sell for anywhere between $2 and $15 depending on grade. Denver minted coins with the D mint mark can bring similar values, and if you find a coin in pristine red condition graded MS67 or higher, prices can soar into the hundreds of dollars. Proof coins minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark are another story. These special coins were struck for collectors using polished dies and special planchets, giving them a mirror-like surface. A 1986 South Proof Lincoln Center in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition has been known to sell for more than $100 at auctions, and then we have the world of mint errors, which is where things get truly exciting. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and die cracks can turn a simple penny into a highly sought-after collectible. Some 1986 double die obverse pennies where lettering or the date shows clear doubling can sell for several $100s depending on clarity and condition. In extreme cases of dramatic off-center strikes where a large portion of the design is missing, collectors have paid thousands of dollars. Now let us focus on the market. Currently, the coin market for Lincoln cents remains strong, with collectors always searching for high-grade examples and unique errors. Auction records show that special pieces of the 1986 Lincoln penny have sold for staggering amounts. In fact, some rare conditions have crossed prices over several $1,000s. Market trackers estimate that the highest potential value for a gem quality or dramatic error penny from 1986 can reach over $779,342. While such figures represent rare finds, they demonstrate how powerful the market can be when rarity, demand, and condition meet together. So what should you look for if you have a 1986 penny in your collection or pocket change? First, check the mint mark. Look for Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with AD, or San Francisco with an S for proofs. Second, inspect the condition carefully. A coin that still shines bright red with no scratches or wear has a far greater chance of being valuable. Third, look closely for doubling, off-center designs, or any unusual features that suggest an error strike. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can help you detect these details. And lastly, consider having your coin graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can unlock the true market potential of your penny. The Lincoln penny of 1986 is more than just a small piece of metal. It is a symbol of American history, a reminder of Abraham Lincoln's legacy, and a fascinating collectible that can surprise you with its hidden worth. From a simple cent to a coin worth thousands, the journey of the Lincoln penny proves that every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. So next time you see a 1986 penny, do not ignore it. Hold it in your hand, study it carefully, and remember that you might just be holding a small fortune without even realizing it. Thank you for watching JF Coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent, make sure to subscribe to our channel JF Coin, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends who love coin collecting. Stay tuned because every week we bring you more amazing stories and values hidden inside coins that might be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where history meets treasure and where small coins can tell the biggest stories. Today we are going deep into the world of one of the most collected coins in the United States. Yes, my friends, I am talking about the Lincoln penny. And not just any penny but the 1994 Lincoln 1 cent coin. A tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that might be hiding in your pocket change right now, but could actually be worth way more than just a single cent. So stay with me because by the end of this video you will know its history, its hidden value, and exactly why collectors are hunting for this coin even today. Let us first travel back in time for a moment. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first United States coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. That choice changed coinage forever. Since then, the Lincoln cent has gone through several design changes, different mint marks, and composition adjustments, but it has never lost its charm or importance in American history. Now let's focus on our coin of the day, the 1994 Lincoln penny. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the busiest and most productive mints in the United States. In 1994, over 4.1 billion Lincoln pennies were struck at Denver. That means the 1994 D penny is not exactly rare in general circulation. You can easily find one in your spare change, inside old piggy banks, or in coin jars around the house. But here's where the real story begins. Even though billions were minted, condition, errors, and varieties are what transform an ordinary penny into a coin worth serious money. Let's talk about the design. On the obverse or front side of the 1994 D penny, you see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design created by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. Above his head is the phrase "In God We Trust." To the left you see the word Liberty and to the right the date 1994 along with the small letter D below it representing the Denver Mint. On the reverse side you find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Casparo, which was used from 1959 until 2008. If you look very closely, you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial between the columns. That detail makes the Lincoln Memorial design so iconic and beloved by collectors, but why is the 1994 D penny considered special or valuable? The answer lies in condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand. Most 1994 D pennies you find in circulation are only worth face value, 1 cent. However, if your coin is in pristine condition, especially in mint state grades like MS65 or higher, the value shoots up significantly. In fact, collectors pay good money for high-grade examples because they are much harder to find than the worn ones. According to coin value charts, a normal circulated 1994 D penny might still be just 1 cent. But in uncirculated condition, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the value can range anywhere from $5 to $25 or more. Now here is the jaw-dropping part. Some extremely high-grade examples have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auctions. One of the finest known 1994 D pennies, graded MS69 red, sold for a record-breaking price of nearly $8,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that originally cost 1 cent turned into a fortune simply because it was preserved in stunning condition, and that brings us to the hidden gems, error coins. Errors are accidental mistakes that happen during the minting process and they make certain coins incredibly valuable. Collectors go crazy for them because they are so unusual and rare. Some errors you might find in a 1994 D penny include double dies where the design looks doubled, off-center strikes where the design is not aligned properly, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or even wrong planchet strikes. Each of these errors can turn a simple penny into a treasure worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. So what about the current market value of the 1994 D penny? Right now in 2025, most circulated 1994 D pennies still trade for face value. However, collectors are paying strong premiums for higher grade and error coins. Auction records show some extraordinary sales, with rare examples reaching up to $779, $3,430, and even more depending on condition and demand. Imagine holding a penny in your hand and discovering it is worth hundreds or thousands of times its original face value. That is the thrill of coin collecting, and here is a golden tip from JF Coin. Always check your change carefully. Get yourself a magnifying glass, good lighting, and examine your coins for any doubling, misstrikes, or unusual details. Also, keep an eye on the color. Collectors prefer full red examples of copper-plated zinc cents, which means the coin still has its bright reddish mint luster. Coins that have turned brown or lost their shine are usually worth less, unless they have a rare error. Another important factor is grading. The higher the grade, the higher the price. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. An MS-70 is a perfect flawless coin. While it is almost impossible to find a 1994 penny in MS-70, examples in MS-68 or MS-69 are still extremely valuable. If you believe you have a high-quality 1994 penny, consider sending it to a professional grading service. That could unlock its full market potential. The story of the 1994 Lincoln penny is a perfect reminder of why coin collecting is so fascinating. Something as small as a penny carries history, artistry, and hidden treasure all in one. For most people it is just 1 cent, but for a collector it could mean hundreds or thousands of dollars. That is the magic of numismatics. So the next time you are about to toss your pennies aside, stop and take a closer look. Because who knows, maybe you are holding a piece of American history that is worth a lot of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1994 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to JF Coin for more exciting stories about rare coins, their history, and their value in today's market. Your support keeps this channel alive and helps us bring more hidden treasures to light. And remember, every coin has a story, and maybe the next story is sitting right in your pocket. Thank you for watching JF Coin, where knowledge is value and every penny counts. Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the surprising value locked inside the coins you might already have in your collection or even lying forgotten in your pocket change. Today we are going to explore one of the most talked about modern coins of the United States, the Lincoln penny 1 cent from the year 2003. At first glance it looks like an ordinary coin. Many people see a Lincoln penny every single day, spend it without a second thought, or leave it lying in a jar. But here is the secret that many collectors know. Some of these 2003 Lincoln pennies are worth far more than their face value. In fact, certain examples have shocked the market, reaching extraordinary prices that make collectors and investors chase after them with incredible passion. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then it has become one of the longest-running coin series in American history. Over the decades, small changes in design, mint marks, and production have created a world of varieties, errors, and special editions that collectors absolutely love. By the time we get to 2003, the Lincoln penny was still being struck with the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that had been used since 1959. This design shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a tribute not just to the man himself but also to the national legacy of freedom and leadership. Now, what makes the 2003 Lincoln penny special, and why should you care? Because hidden among the billions of ordinary coins, there are certain versions of this penny that can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more in the right condition. For example, collectors are on the hunt for coins in pristine uncirculated condition, often graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC. A 2003 Lincoln penny graded MS-68 or MS-69, with full red luster, can easily sell for hundreds of dollars. Some rare examples have crossed into the thousands. Even more exciting are the error coins from 2003. Errors happen when something goes wrong in the minting process, and collectors love these mistakes because they are unique, unusual, and often very scarce. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks are just a few of the varieties that can dramatically raise the value of a 2003 penny. Imagine finding a simple coin in your change and realizing it is an error variety worth a fortune. That is the kind of thrill coin collectors live for. Let's talk numbers. The market for these pennies is very active, and the values can be surprising. A normal 2003 penny in circulated condition is of course worth just 1 cent, but in mint state the story changes completely. High-grade red examples from the Denver Mint and the Philadelphia Mint can bring in strong prices at auction. One of the highest reported values was astonishing, with some examples reaching over $779,000 when sold in special auctions. That is right, from a penny to hundreds of thousands. Think about it. If you are holding a jar of coins at home, there might be a 2003 Lincoln penny hiding inside that could change your life. Collectors all over the world are keeping their eyes open, because the demand for error coins, high-grade specimens, and rare varieties keeps climbing. And as more people join the hobby, the market value only gets stronger. Now let's focus on the details collectors look for. When you examine a 2003 Lincoln penny, pay close attention to the color and luster. Coins that have kept their bright original red shine are far more desirable than those that have turned brown or lost their brilliance. Check the mint mark. Both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced huge numbers of these coins, but some varieties are scarcer than others. And above all, look for errors. A double die on the lettering, a misaligned strike, or an unusual surface can mean the difference between 1 cent and $1,000. Collectors also recommend using a magnifying glass or even a microscope when inspecting pennies. The details can be so small that the naked eye will miss them. The fun of this hobby is in the hunt. Every coin in your hand might be hiding a story, a mistake, or a special quality that transforms it into a collector's dream. Now you might be wondering, is it really possible to sell these coins for such high amounts? The answer is yes, if the coin is rare, in top condition, or has a desirable error. Auction houses, online platforms, and private collectors regularly pay big money for coins that stand out. The record sales prove it. A Lincoln penny that cost 1 cent to mint can now command hundreds of thousands in the open market, and here is the key. Knowledge is power. Most people do not know what they are holding. They spend or ignore their coins, while collectors who pay attention reap the rewards. That is why channels like JF Coin exist, to give you the information you need, to guide you in your search, and to make sure you never overlook a coin that could be worth a fortune. So the next time you come across a 2003 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Hold it in the palm of your hand, look closely, and imagine the journey this little piece of copper-plated zinc has taken. From the US Mint, through the hands of countless people, all the way to you. It carries history, it carries value, and in some cases, it carries the power to surprise you with life-changing worth. The Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. It is a symbol of American history, a collector's prize, and in the case of the 2003 edition, a potential treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies and want more videos about coins that could be hiding incredible value, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and share this video with fellow collectors. Who knows, someone you know might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Remember, every coin has a story, and every collection starts with a single piece. Keep searching, keep learning, and maybe the next big discovery will be in your hands. Welcome back to JF Coin, the place where history, mystery, and money all come together in the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history, the famous Lincoln penny, also known as the 1-cent coin. And not just any penny, but the incredible 2005 Lincoln penny that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide because of its hidden value, rich history, and surprising place in today's coin market. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey that starts over a century ago with the creation of the Lincoln cent and ends right here in 2005 with a coin that could be worth far more than the face value stamped on it. The Lincoln penny made its debut in 1909, created to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, something that at the time was revolutionary. Before Lincoln, coins carried symbols like liberty heads or allegorical figures. But this 1-cent coin carried the image of a real hero, a man whose leadership during the Civil War shaped the future of America forever. From that very moment, the Lincoln cent became more than just a coin. It became a piece of history, a small round tribute to freedom and unity, carried in the pockets of millions of Americans every single day. Now fast forward to 2005. The U.S. Mint continued producing the Lincoln cent, and in Denver the 2005 penny was struck in the hundreds of millions. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary. It carries the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the words "In God We Trust" above him, liberty to his left, and the date 2005 along with the D mint mark just below it. On the reverse side we see the Lincoln Memorial, the design introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. But here's where the story gets fascinating. While millions of these coins exist, some carry unique traits that transform them from everyday pocket change into treasures worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Certain 2005 Lincoln pennies have been known to sell for life-changing amounts because of minting errors, rare conditions, and collector demand. In fact, the current coin market has recorded astonishing values reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with one rare example climbing to an unbelievable $779,345. That is the kind of headline that makes every collector start checking their coin jars, their wallets, and even the change that slips under the couch cushions. But why would a penny worth only 1 cent suddenly skyrocket to such heights in the collector market? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Collectors know that mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and wrong planchet strikes can dramatically increase the value of a coin. When these errors occur in limited numbers, the coins become highly sought after. The 2005 Lincoln penny is known for certain striking anomalies that have caught the eyes of experts. Combine that with the fact that high-grade examples, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can come in nearly perfect mint state, and you have the recipe for massive demand and skyrocketing prices. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could pay off a house, buy you a new car, or even change your financial life completely. That is the dream driving collectors, and it is why the 2005 Lincoln cent remains such an exciting coin in today's market. Some collectors have already cashed in by auctioning off their rare specimens for staggering prices, while others continue to hunt, hoping to discover that one coin that everyone else overlooked. The market for Lincoln cents has always been strong, but in recent years the buzz has only grown louder. Coin collecting is no longer just a hobby for the elderly or a pastime for history lovers. Thanks to social media, YouTube, and online auction platforms, millions of young collectors are now entering the game, pushing demand higher and higher. Every time a story breaks about a penny selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, more people join the hunt, fueling the fire of the market even more. So let's break down the current value landscape. A typical 2005 penny you might find in circulation is worth only face value. But uncirculated examples pulled straight from mint sets can fetch a small premium, often selling for a few dollars depending on condition. The real prizes are the rare era coins and the high-grade mint state coins. Some have been graded MS-68 or even higher, and those coins have sold for thousands of dollars. Then, at the very top, you have the extraordinary finds that set auction records, those one-in-a-million specimens that cross the $100,000 mark, with the highest reports showing a jaw-dropping $779,345. That is the crown jewel every collector dreams of finding, and here's the exciting part. These coins are still out there. They could be sitting in a coin roll at your local bank, hiding in a family coin jar, or waiting to be spotted in your pocket change. Every day, ordinary people are discovering extraordinary coins, and the 2005 penny is one of the best examples of why you should always check your change carefully. At JF Coin, I always remind my viewers that coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, it is about connecting with the past, and it is about preserving a little piece of art that tells the story of a nation. Each Lincoln cent carries the spirit of Abraham Lincoln himself, a reminder of leadership, sacrifice, and freedom. Whether your penny is worth 1 cent or $779,000, it still represents something far more valuable, a piece of American history that fits in the palm of your hand. So the next time you come across a 2005 Lincoln penny, do not just toss it aside. Look closely. Examine the details. Check the condition. Because you never know, you might just be holding onto a fortune without realizing it. Before we wrap up, let me say this. If you are serious about coin collecting, always consider professional grading for coins that look unusual or exceptionally well preserved. Services like PCGS and NGC can verify authenticity, assign grades, and help you unlock the true market value of your coins. And remember, knowledge is your best tool. The more you learn about coins, the better your chances of discovering treasures that others overlook. Thank you so much for watching JF Coin. If you enjoyed this journey through the fascinating history and shocking value of the 2005 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another exciting story from the world of coins. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny in your change? Who knows, your story could be the next headline in the numismatic world. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep the history of coins alive with JF Coin. Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where rare coins tell their amazing stories and where every little cent could actually be worth a fortune. Today we are going to talk about one of the most eye-catching and highly collected United States coins. I am talking about the Lincoln penny 1 cent and specifically about the 2012 issues. You might be surprised to know that these little copper-colored pieces of money that many people ignore can actually carry big history, hidden value, and in some cases unbelievable market worth. Some of them are even valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and demand. So sit back, because in this video we are diving deep into the value, history, and current worth of the 2012 Lincoln penny 1 cent. The Lincoln cent has been around for over a century and is one of the longest-running coin series in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny instantly became a favorite among collectors and the general public. For the very first time a real person's portrait appeared on a U.S. coin, and that person was none other than Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States and one of the most respected leaders in American history. Over the years the design of the penny has changed several times, but Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, the front side of the coin, has remained. It has become a symbol not only of American currency but also of heritage and history. Now let us fast forward to the year 2012. This was a very important period for the Lincoln cent series. The design at this time featured the Union shield on the reverse. The shield represents Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single united country. At the top of the shield we see a single horizontal scroll with the words 1 cent, while the vertical stripes symbolize the unity of the states. It is not just a coin, it is a symbol of strength and unity carried in the pocket of every citizen. Collectors often overlook the modern years thinking that only old pennies from the 1900s can be valuable. But here is the truth. Modern pennies like those from 2012 can also hold impressive value, especially if they are in pristine condition or carry a mint error. An error coin is a coin that comes out of the minting process with some sort of mistake. It could be a double die, an off-center strike, a wrong planchet, or even a missing letter. These mistakes make the coins extremely rare because only a handful exist, and collectors are willing to pay huge money for them. So what about the 2012 Lincoln penny 1 cent? Normally in circulation, a regular worn penny from this year will be worth its face value of 1 cent. But the story changes dramatically when we talk about uncirculated coins, proof coins, and those special errors. An uncirculated 2012 penny, straight from a mint roll and without scratches, can be worth from a few dollars up to hundreds depending on grade. High-grade certified examples graded by PCGS or NGC with a grade of MS67 or MS68 can reach impressive auction prices. Collectors chase these coins because finding such flawless examples from modern issues is not easy, but here is where things get really interesting. Certain error coins from 2012 have reached market values that shock even experienced collectors. Some have been recorded with values above hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a small penny in your pocket change and learning that it could be worth more than $79,000 or even close to $750,000. Yes, the market has shown examples where rare error pennies have reached incredible prices. The magic number that has been floating in collectors' circles for some of these top condition or ultra-rare error pieces is an astonishing $779,346. That is almost $800,000 for a single Lincoln penny from 2012. Why does this happen? The answer is simple. Rarity plus demand. Collectors want the unusual, the rare, the perfect. The 2012 pennies in mint state condition or with an error become treasures. Combine that with the emotional value of Abraham Lincoln's image and the powerful symbol of the Union Shield and you have a recipe for record-breaking prices. Now let us talk about the market today. The current coin market has been very strong. Collectors worldwide are paying more attention to modern issues because the older coins are getting too expensive for new collectors. This shift has increased the demand for newer Lincoln cents like the 2012 issues. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales reveal a steady increase in prices. Even coins in lower grades that were once ignored are now getting attention. A 2012 penny in superb gem condition certified by PCGS or NGC could easily fetch high prices, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, those rare error coins remain the dream of every treasure hunter. So how do you know if your 2012 Lincoln penny is special? First, check its condition. If it looks shiny and perfect with no scratches or wear, it might already be valuable. Second, check for errors. Look carefully at the date, the letters, the shield, and the edges. If you see doubling, misaligned strikes, missing parts, or unusual color, you may have a rare variety. Third, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A coin in a certified holder with a high grade can multiply in value many times. Here is the exciting part. These coins are still out there in circulation. You can find them in pocket change, in rolls from the bank, or in coin jars sitting in your home. Every time you hold a 2012 Lincoln penny, remember that you might just be holding something worth far more than 1 cent. In conclusion, the Lincoln penny 1 cent is not just a piece of change. It is a piece of American history, it is a symbol of unity, and in the case of the 2012 issues, it is a potential treasure. With values ranging from a single cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars, the hunt for these coins remains one of the most exciting adventures in the world of numismatics. So my friends, next time you see a penny lying on the ground, do not just walk past it. Pick it up, look at it carefully, and who knows, it could be one of those incredible 2012 Lincoln cents worth a life-changing amount of money. Thank you for watching JF Coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the value and history of the 2012 Lincoln penny 1 cent, make sure you hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and of course subscribe to JF Coin for more amazing coin stories. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and maybe your next coin will be worth a fortune.